wrong with LeBron? He was given an excused absence from Wednesday's practice and film session. Lakers coach J.J. Redick said LeBron is taking some time away from the team. LeBron has not been with the team since Sunday's win over Portland. He sat out that game with a sore left foot. Redick is uncertain if LeBron will be with the Lakers for Friday's game at Minnesota. It looks like there's been a change in thinking about Bronny James playing road games in the G League with the South Bay Lakers. LeBron's son will be with South Bay for tonight's game in Tempe, Arizona against the Valley Suns. This would be Bronny's first road game with South Bay. Crucial game for the Rams tonight at San Francisco. The Rams need a win to stay in contention in the NFC West. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is going for his fifth straight game without an interception. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this and sworn like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness. I just kill cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just win again, then win again like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again. The sound that engine in is like a bird. You see fire.
KBLA Talk 1580. Ha. West Coast is winning right now. I mean, look, we already know that. When we live here, we know that. We win every day because we get to live here. But on the national and international stage, it's nice to see that. I was thinking about Ron from Richmond calling me out because the Rams are playing the 49ers tonight, and who am I going to choose? But whoever wins, Cali wins, right? I mean, that's the bottom line in that game. And I know a lot of people are excited about here in LA, about probably all over the country, if you know about it, about the public housing annual toy giveaway concert extravaganza of Top Dog Entertainment. It's been going on for 11 years. But this year it just seems to be extra hype. It's probably, because Kendrick is having just a career high. Really, to me, it's more than a career high. It's like an artist high. Artists have peaks and lulls and in their ability to be prolific and connect with their people that love them. So obviously he's having a peak right now, and the fact that I was looking at tickets for Kendrick Lamar on tour with SZA, and they are high. I really wanted to go to that show. It might be a little bit out of my budget at this point. And I'm sure, I got 2-3 jobs, and, I'm not a poor person. I would put myself in the middle class, not a wealthy person. But to me, that makes it even more kind of wonderful that SZA's going to be there. at Nickerson Gardens today, performing for the people. I don't know. I think it's going to be quite crowded, I'm pretty sure. If you have not made prior arrangements, you might want to, sit around and hope somebody live streams it or something. Yeah. Anyway, call me 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I was expecting a certain person who I will not put on blast because I'm still hoping that we can get them on another day. But they're not coming today. So right now it's me, you, and Miles. 800-920-1580. We got a lot of things to cover, though, and some stuff I've been meaning to get to that I have not been able to get to. I feel like I've been saying that all week. And I wish, actually, let's call back Jaye. No, what the reason I say that is because this case with Jonathan Majors, the actor his career was just on fire, and then he was accused by his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, of assaulting her. And then she ended up dismissing her federal lawsuit against him. This was, I don't know, a little over a week ago that she dismissed that suit. And I guess they made some kind of deal. I don't know. It was, she had accused him of defamation and also assault because he was convicted for 2 misdemeanor assault charges against her. And then she filed defamation against him because he denied the allegations, even though he was convicted. He went on Good Morning America and said he never laid his hands on her. I was confused with that case anyway because I saw the video of him running away from her. I don't know if any of you saw that on social media, but he was literally fleeing her for quite some time. It's a pretty long chase scene. Doesn't mean he never did anything, I guess. I mean, but it's just odd that I'm saying I was afraid of you and then I'm chasing you. I don't know, the dynamics of people's personal and interpersonal relationships. But all claims were dismissed with prejudice, which means that case cannot be reopened. And it just makes you wonder. I think I'm thinking about this in a way right now because of what's going on with Diddy, but even more so what's going on with Jay-Z. And the reason is because she can dismiss this with prejudice, whatever they worked out or didn't work out. He's been found guilty of 2 misdemeanors, and it's cost him his career. Whether that case is dismissed or not dismissed, he's not getting his Marvel jobs back. Those are career-making jobs for actors because they're going to be sequels and more sequels, and they're going to rerun and rerun. You're going to be getting residual checks, which are the checks you get when something you were in plays again. I just did 1 episode of X-Files, and I still get checks for that. They're not big checks because I wasn't the star of the show. I just had a small role in it. But it's been a long time since I did that job, and I still get checks. So if you're in a Marvel franchise, you're going to be maybe not set for life, but you're going to be getting checks for life. But he won't get any of that back. And we already know that black men, especially in entertainment, but in general, do not get second chances. It's very rare. Very rare. And again, more good reasons for Joe Biden to pardon as many black men that are eligible, commute sentences for as many black men that are eligible as possible, including, yes, Jesse Jackson Jr., absolutely. But in this case, in a case like Majors, he won't get his career back. He may get his career back, but not at the level that it was when this happened. And I've heard people say, well, he shouldn't have been messing with the snow bunnies. I've read a lot of stuff about this case because there are people making allegations anonymously and non-anonymously saying that he has a history of having a violent temper and mistreating people. But my point is that if you're Chris Brown or if you're Jonathan Majors, you don't get to bounce back. You don't get to be Donald J. Trump and be president even though you've sexually assaulted over 24 women and actually been found liable in civil court by a jury of rape, but you get to be president. If you're a black man and you have a misdemeanor for, domestic violence, it's terrible, it's a misdemeanor, you do not get to even be a cartoon villain. And it just, I'm not... Someone was accusing me of hypocrisy in the chat the other day, and I get that, I do want to believe victims. I think we need a better system, though. And if you're a black man, should you have different protections knowing that you actually, in reality, have different consequences? Okay. Am I going to the phone here? Okay. Paul's on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Paul Tyler from John Groats. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And it was great seeing you guys yesterday. I just wanted to call and thank you and Miles and Travis for allowing me to be a part of your family, to come over and bring over the jackets from where I am and just to help out. And it just, I can encourage everybody just to take 10, 15 minutes out of your day to help out. It makes a difference.
Yeah, well, you know what, Paul? I'm glad you called. I don't know if people know John O'Groats is a great restaurant here in Los Angeles, but I don't know if people realize that you were just one of the very, very early supporters of KBLA when nobody even knew what KBLA was, and we were a super startup. You were here from day one, encouraging us, bringing us biscuits, supporting some of our initiatives, and now You're here bringing warm coats for the unhoused. And just want to say we really, really, really appreciate you. And that's what community is about. That's what being a socially innovative business is about. It, is being involved in the community and supporting, a rare black business, being the only Black-owned talk radio station west of the Mississippi. Having businesses like yours step up and stand with us, it means the world.
I'm glad. Well, I'm going to wish everybody a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you soon. I'll be by hopefully within the next week with some more jackets, I think, more coats.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Paul.
All right, have a blessed week.
All right, you too. Just another reason to support the businesses that support us. The forensic accountant, back to my convo about Jonathan Majors, says Brother Majors needs to intercept Travis Hunter at the Heisman ceremony and pull his coat, and asks, is Columbus Short still working? No, he's not. And my friend Isaiah Washington still hasn't recovered his career, and it's been more than 15 years. B. Bell says no one should be assaulted, but there does seem to be a double standard when it comes to us, black men. Absolutely, there is a double standard. And that double standard means double jeopardy, because you serve your time for your misdemeanor, or even when you're proven to have not done a thing, the rest of your life, you're tarnished and tainted. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of Chris Brown and an advocate for him, because this is a young person that grew up with a lot of trauma, then did something terrible. And because of my situation in the entertainment business, I know some backstory about that I may or may not be able to share. And now I'm hearing that they're doing a documentary on him. They're doing a surviving Chris Brown type thing. And here's a person who's been able to continue to have a career and thrive thanks to the dedication of his fans, in spite of the fact that every time mainstream media says anything about him, number one, they call him a rapper, and number two, they always go back to the worst day of his life. Well, I don't know if it's the worst day, but seemingly when he attacked Rihanna, and they were both very, very young, 20-something years later, and he's done anger management, and he's done community service, and he's gone above and beyond in the things that he does behind the scenes. And here so what is it that can be done to protect victims, believe victims, and not subject black men to a different standard than the rest of American society has to face? It's a great time to call me, 800-920-1580. We got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
The big holiday beauty sale at Ulta Beauty is happening now. Get the best gifts up to 50% off, including can't-miss deals on Urban Decay palettes, luxurious YSL and Armani fragrances, and the fabulous Shark Dryer and Styler. But that's not all. New deals drop every week. So whether you're treating yourself or finding the perfect gifts for your crew, head to an Ulta Beauty store today. Get all the best gifts, all at Ulta Beauty.
The revolution will not be televised.
This is Brother Cornell West. My dear brothers and sisters, I'm full of joy and delight to announce that I'm joining the precious family at KBLA Talk 1580, founded and led by my dear, dear brother Tavis Smiley himself. Yes, the name of the show is Truth Time, and I'll be working with the inimitable Nina Turner out of Cleveland, Ohio, sister of great vision, and we will be on weekdays at 12 noon. We will be following Brother Tavis Smiley's show. We will begin Monday, January the 6th. That's right, Monday, January the 6th. Get ready for a different kind of insurrection. We coming with Martin Luther King Jr. and Fannie Lou Hamer and Curtis Mayfield and Aretha Franklin, and gonna add a little Gil Scott Heron too, as Nina Simone sits at the center. That's right.
The revolution will be live.
That's what we gonna do. Please come with us on this fantastic voyage.
The revolution will put you in the driver's seat.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Only Dr. Cornell West can do an ad for his show and make it sound like a spoken word. A spoken word poem. Go on, Dr. West. It is exciting. We got these big name public intellectuals joining us, small name public intellectuals on the radio. The revolution may not be televised, but it will definitely be a broadcast on KBLA Talk 1580. Okay, so yes, you are right. There is, there is a lot of double standard. When I say you're right, I'm looking in the chat. And my colleague, attorney Dion Raymond, says in the chat, I support accountability, but what I take issue with is a person losing their ability to work in their chosen profession. Mistakes can and do happen in the criminal legal system. I think that is a really good point, because, then that's beyond double jeopardy. You can't work for life. And forensic accountant says, I remember listening to Wendy Williams cautioning Rihanna on her radio show about Chris, not because she saw him as potentially violent, but she perceived a maturity gap. And that may be, and I can't scroll up this far, but someone else is saying, once again, and too bad I can't see you, because I know, I want to give you credit. for what you're saying, that R. Kelly also had trauma. And that is true. He had trauma in his childhood. Here's the difference. R. Kelly denied that. He denied he had a problem. He did not get help. And he continued to do what he wanted to do. And he had a whole group of people around him, entourage type people that helped him and protected him in his abuse of women and very young women. And like I said, I don't believe any artist should be banned because of their criminal convictions or liabilities or habits or even their terrible lyrics. I don't believe they should be banned. I believe we should decide as consumers whether we want to stand with them or not, right? That's my personal choice not to listen to R. Kelly. I'm not saying you can't listen to it. In fact, when he was first convicted and I was on Stevie Wonder's radio station, there were some people that were actually picketing us because we were playing R. Kelly. And I stood up for that radio station because I believe that if that's what folks want to hear, they'll keep listening, and if they don't, they won't keep listening. They'll vote with their ears. I don't want to hear him. Some people may feel that way about Michael Jackson. I don't. I don't think this is an easy conversation, a black and white conversation. I think this is a nuanced discussion, and I think we're going to have to get a little better at it. Because when you get into race and sex and age and trauma, you can't just make a blanket statement. And I'm really excited because I'm sitting here, sitting up in my room, and by my room, I mean my radio station at KBLA. And it's just, like I said, it's me, you, the microphone, and Miles. But I'm getting a call from my esteemed colleague right now. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I called her and I texted her and say, esteemed colleague, can you please call me? She is an attorney and an activist. She's got her own show on KBLA. And she is attorney Dion Raymond. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm good. I'm up here, doing what I love to do, which is being on the radio. And everyone, was admiring you for your coverage of the Mark Ridley Thomas trial, which you did with Reva Martin. You can hear her on the Justice Files on the weekend. But yeah, the whole Jay-Z thing is what got me on this. But I've been talking about it, and I'm probably one of the only feminists in America that loves Chris Brown. So I've been accused of being a hypocrite, and maybe I am, but I just feel like there's nuance here.
I agree. I love Chris Brown. I love Jonathan Majors. I love Columbus Short. I love all of them, and I love them first and foremost as human beings. And I think when the focus becomes on behavior, and behavior is important, of course. I just want to say first and foremost, I believe in accountability, Dominique. I'm a mother, you're a mother, and any good parent knows if you love someone, if you love your child, you will hold them accountable and teach them that there are consequences for their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also practiced criminal defense. I've done civil, I've done employment, but when you work in the criminal legal system, and I hope everybody really hears this, Dominique, you are stepping behind a veil. You are stepping into a world that most people do not see. Unless you've had contact with the criminal legal system as a defendant, unless you are in law enforcement, a judge, a clerk. It's a whole different world that you don't see it. And there's a reason for that. And I was a public defender. And the very important work of a public defender is that you see volume, and so you begin to see patterns. And it's not hard for people to imagine that the majority of those who are stopped, I call it captured, who are charged, who are prosecuted, are people of color. There's a disproportionate number of black people who have contact with the criminal legal system. That is not an accident. That is a throwback to the slave codes, and it persists until today. And so I think you make a good point about this being a nuanced conversation. We have a president-elect convicted civilly, convicted criminally, who we know incited a group of people to go to the Capitol in an attempt to thwart certification of an election. Anyone else would have been put underneath the jail. And then we have these black men charged with crimes, convicted of crimes. And I will say this, just because someone is convicted of a crime doesn't mean that they committed it. It could be that they did.
That's true.
It could be that they were the victim of a biased jury. A lot of times people plead out because they just don't feel that they can get a fair trial, or they've got to go back to work. And so even if a person is convicted, and even if they were guilty, there is this thing called having an opportunity to restore yourself, to learn from those circumstances. And when individuals are not allowed to return to their chosen profession, we know things that they are gifted at doing, then I think it sets a person up for failure. And we send society sends a message that you can never be restored. And again, we see this happening with black men.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's the legal... Well, we're about to go into news, traffic, and sports, so I shouldn't ask you a question here. And I don't know if you can stay with me on the other side, because I know you're in the middle of your morning. But I'm just wondering, what's the legal nuance here, right? We see Jay-Z now, he's being accused, and Diddy's in jail. I mean, it's different with Diddy because we have things on tape. But how do you nuance something that is part of the legal system? You're either guilty or you're not guilty according to the law, right? Love to get your thoughts when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Imagine a photograph of your favorite place in California. Then right in the middle of it, one piece of litter. Litter has no place in our lives, not one piece. Together, let's change that. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Something is going on with LeBron. He was given an excused absence from Wednesday's practice and film session. Lakers coach J.J. Redick said LeBron is taking some time away from the team. LeBron has not been with the team since Sunday's win over Portland. He sat out that game with a sore left foot. Redick is uncertain if LeBron will be with the Lakers for Friday's game at Minnesota. It looks like there's been a change in thinking about Bronny James playing road games in the G League with the South Bay Lakers. LeBron's son will be with South Bay for tonight's game in Tempe, Arizona against the Valley Suns. This would be Bronny's first road game with South Bay. Crucial game for the Rams tonight at San Francisco. The Rams need a win to stay in contention in the NFC West. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is going for his fifth straight game without an interception. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
On behalf of her precious family, it is with profound sadness that KBLA Talk 1580 announces the passing of our beloved colleague, Robin Ayers, on Thursday, December 5th. Robin was a bright light. You could see her radiant smile through the radio. We all respected her immense talent, loved her jovial spirit, celebrated her love of family, and honored her faith in God. Our thoughts and prayers are with Robin's entire family, most especially her husband Rob and her twin daughters Brooklyn and Madison. We ask you to join us in praying for the Ayers family as they navigate the difficult days ahead. In her honor, all this week, we're broadcasting the best of the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Save no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You've been hearing me guest host here on KBLA Talk 1580, and I'm having a blast. But I'm excited about joining the official lineup here at KBLA Talk 1580 starting Monday, January 6th at 1 p.m. Start your day with First Things First and Dominique DiPrima at 6 a.m. Check out Tavis Smiley at 9 a.m. Tune into Truth Time with Dr. Cornell West and Nina Turner at 12 noon, and then tap in with me on The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show at 1 p.m. weekdays. I served 17 years in the U.S. Congress, and I can tell you it's going to be a rough 4 years, so let's navigate this journey together. It's The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show, starting Monday, January 6th at 1 p.m. on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Attorney Dion Raymond, thanks for sticking around through news, traffic, and sports to weigh in on this. I mean, how could you legally nuance things? Even when I heard Jay-Z saying, well, I need to know the identity of the accuser because they're trying to claim she doesn't even exist. At the same time, that seems really scary because as an accuser, you don't want to be doxxed or put out there for retaliation by fans, or you know what I mean? So where's the legal nuance? Do we?
Right. There are reasons, Dominique, why individuals' identity needs to be protected at times, to encourage people to come forward in order to protect them from retaliation. On balance, an individual has to be able to defend themselves and know what they're up against. I think that this is what I'm really concerned about. Two things, Dominique, is that, first of all, there's this trend now that I see and that everyone else can see. Conviction by accusation.
Right.
For instance, over the holidays, I was talking to someone, at a family gathering, and they were talking about why they are convinced that Sean Diddy Combs is guilty. This is what I know about Sean Diddy Combs. I don't know anything except what is in the news.
Mm.
The one thing that is undisputable, irrefutable, is the tape that we saw.
Right.
We see him kicking her and abusing her, and we see that he's not doing it in self-defense. He's got no self-defense there. Does this mean that he is guilty of sex trafficking? I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because, number one, he is presumed innocent. That is one of the centerpieces of our criminal legal system. Every individual is presumed innocent, and any good trial lawyer is going to voir dire potential jurors on that. And what I have found is that people say, yeah, they pay lip service to it, and we don't really talk about what it really means to be presumed innocent. Why is that so essential? Because a prosecutor has the high burden, and it was designed to be high, to prove every element of every crime charged. Otherwise, individuals are going in addition to projecting their own biases, but already deciding, sometimes not even willing to discuss the evidence before voting. And so how does an individual have a chance? It's important for us to have the Dominique DiPrimas and the KBLAs, myself, Tavis, everyone. You see, I'm calling in because I listen to your show. I listen to your show so that I can become educated, have nuanced conversations about these things, so that when I step into the world and into all kinds of situations, I have something that I can use called analysis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad you said that because honestly, I was, someone, I think you heard me say I was a hypocrite because I'm over here, taking up for JC or at least asking questions about Jay-Z. And what I hate to see is the fact that we seem so gleeful that these folks are going down, right? And I said, well, I think it's different because we see Diddy on tape. We saw R. Kelly on tape. I didn't need a trial. But I think your point is a fair one, which is that whether I think we need a trial or not, conviction by accusation, as you put it, is not fair. Presumed innocent is our standard, or at least it has been our standard. So, I mean, that makes sense. So it doesn't matter, in other words, from your legal mind, it doesn't matter how much crap we think we've seen Diddy doing, how many, incriminating tapes that are out there of him doing this and that, how many rumors, how much it's sort of an open secret in the industry. He still deserves the same presumption of innocence as anyone else.
Absolutely, because if it doesn't work for him, then it works for no one. And that's where and how the system goes down. And we know that there are double standards. My son and I were having a conversation just yesterday about in the news, or maybe not so much in the news, or not so much highlighted, are alleged domestic violence accusations against Brad Pitt. You don't see that. And so I'm not saying that it's not possible that the charges against Diddy are not true.
Right.
But make the prosecutors do their job and not rely on people coming in with a presumption of guilt. That's number one. Number two, we have to be aware of these tropes that black men have to deal with, of being, birth of a nation, right? Lustful, rapists, can't control themselves, things like that. Look, Nate Parker. Look what has happened to his career. He was acquitted.
Yeah.
Of raping a woman.
Right.
And where do we see this beautiful, talented young man who is in the great debaters? Just careers gone. And that's not justice. And that's why we have a show called The Justice Files.
Yes, indeed, we do. And gosh, I mean, you're right. Brad Pitt is one of the biggest movie stars in the world, and so is Angelina Jolie, and he was accused of domestic violence, and no one's talking about it. You're right. I mean, I have seen some stories here and there, but it certainly doesn't seem to be in any danger of taking down his career.
No.
Same with Johnny Depp. They had a whole trial. And
Johnny Depp said, I'm not going out like that. I'm going to challenge this. And how many people have the resources to do that?
Yeah, that's true. Well, Okay, I stand corrected. I'm going to stop saying.
Therein lies.
I stand
Therein lies
corrected.
the rub.
That's why we have to have a justice files and not just the first things first. I think, real talk.
We can have both.
We need both.
That's the beauty.
We definitely
We can
need
have
both. Yeah, well, we do, luckily. And you can see the justice file here, the justice files, every Sunday at 10 a.m. here on KBLA Talk 1580. So us, the public, and especially social media, because we love to convict people on social media.
Absolutely.
That we need to return to presumption of innocence. What about the industry, though? I mean, someone says Hollywood is corrupt in the chat, and yeah, that's true. Almost all major, giant, multi-billion industries are. But
absolutely,
how do we protect people in the legal system, though? I mean, how do you address that double standard in a legal manner, not just in an intellectual manner, or saying we, the public, need to return to our presumption of innocence?
We've got to do a lot better at educating people about the legal system in general. And I'm glad you asked the question, Dominique, because I'm going to read nearly verbatim, if I can, a text message that I sent just yesterday in a thread. And it was in response to one of the members on the thread who is a career criminal defense attorney. And I said that voir dire is key. Voir dire is where lawyers question jurors. And sometimes you don't have a lot of time to do that. In complex cases, more so. In misdemeanors, not so much. And I said voir dire is key, and closing is clutch, your closing argument. I wrote, I repeat, you cannot learn it in law school. And they are skills that are not necessarily acquired by virtue of time. I had the fortune of having a supervisor in the public defender's office explain voir dire to me one day. And he was an amazing trial attorney. And so voir dire in closing, I wrote, are some of the reasons why Johnny Cochran was a master trial lawyer. And I was telling this person that he is too, because knowing the law, Dominique, and the facts, that's just your baseline. I wrote, you have to know going in that there are invisible barriers. The physical ones are many, and they are obvious, and oftentimes obvious to jurors who may not care. But to be able to take all the law, take all the facts, and all the rules of evidence, which is a complex thing, and somehow be able to know how to talk to people and tell a story, and at the outset, humanize your client the way I see they're already doing in the media with Luigi Mangione. That is next level. And I wrote, if you can do that, maybe, just maybe, your client has a shot. Because there is no law practice more difficult, more stressful, nor more important than criminal defense.
Wow. I know you got to go. Real quick, though, before you go, did you have a thought about the MRT, Mike Ridley Thomas appeal presentation? Because I know that from everything I've read, it was very strong, and folks are feeling hopeful that he can get that conviction overturned.
I thought that his attorneys were very well prepared. Nothing about it shocked or surprised me. You kind of learn, in law school, if you do moot court, that as soon as you start your presentation, you're going to be interrupted, constantly pelted with questions. And both sides were. And I felt that his attorney was so poised, and there was not one question that she did not answer and answer directly. And so I think he's got, given the law, I think that he's got as good a shot as anybody has right now. And as I've been consistent in saying, this, of course, personally impacts him and his family. But if they will come for him in the daytime, they'll come for the rest of us in the night. And so how they come out on this, we should all be paying close attention because it has ramifications for everyone going forward.
Mm. Attorney Dion Raymond, thank you so much for jumping on with me this morning. I appreciate you.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you, Dominique.
All right, it's the perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. And if you want to hear more of that good sense and legal analysis, you can find her Sundays at 10 a.m. only on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the CHOCO.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Yeah, so I said that I stand corrected, and I meant that. And what I meant by it was that I have made a differentiation between Diddy and Jay-Z, or Diddy and Al Franken, or Diddy and or R. Kelly and Chris Brown, right? And for me, there is a distinction, and I am always going to go with my gut. If hearing R. Kelly makes me feel nauseated, which it does, then I'm not going to listen to it, right? Because as a sexual abuse survivor myself, I feel that I have to go with my gut and my head. That's why we each get our own head, we each get our own gut. But I do think what Attorney Dion Raymond said is a fair point when we're talking about the legal system. If I think you're creepy and my El Creepo alarm goes off, I'm going to keep my distance, right? I'm not going to listen to your music. I do stand by the fact that we saw R. Kelly marry Aaliyah, which was creepy, okay? But when it comes to a court of law, guilty versus innocent, I think Attorney Dion Raymond is right. We absolutely do have to stay with the presumption of innocence. And so that's what I mean by corrected. For me, I will admit that I was not functioning with a presumption of innocence for Diddy. I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawmaker. But for me, as a person who has this microphone every day and talks to you, and some people may actually listen and be influenced by what I say, that's not fair. He should also have the presumption of innocence, right? And that's what I mean by I stand corrected. I don't mean by I stand corrected, I don't mean that I'm going to start listening to R. Kelly, though, FYI. And a couple folks are in the chat here talking about Miles Davis and how certain people won't listen to Miles Davis anymore because of his alleged domestic violence against Cicely Tyson. So when I talk about nuance, I'm talking about the legal system. And so if I'm going to say, this is my opinion, I also feel that Dion is right. We have to protect the presumption of innocence, and conviction by accusation is the end for black men and black women too, but black men in particular, because you think about Emmett Till and this long history in this country of people just being able to point the finger and say, he whistled at me, he pointed at me, he smiled at me, he flirted with me, he raped me, with no evidence. And because they have the upper hand through privilege, they are able to remove the presumption of innocence. Fahima saying here, while one is innocent until proven guilty, with all respect, if one reads the incitement on Diddy, many accusations, Diddy has a serious issue due to past trauma, hurt people. Yes, I get that. And, I get that. I'm just going to say I'm going to go with what Dion said, because I do think as we are amplified, are those of us who are on this big platform called KBLA, and I've been on other big platforms, right, over the years, Stevie Wonder Station, The Beat when it was really The Beat, the Michael Baisden platform, KRON TV. I feel like I have a responsibility to uphold a certain standard as far as my own integrity. And so, point taken. Good talk. Look, I didn't get to all the things I wanted to get to, but this is a conversation that I anticipate we'll be having more of as these cases come, one after another. We're going to see a trial for Diddy. We're going to, I feel like the Jay-Z conversation is going to be heating up. And I started off talking about Jonathan Majors. No matter what happens in a court of law, he won't get his career back. And we know that. Not at the level that it was, right? So I think we have to become sophisticated. It's back to our media literacy and not believing every post we see, every rumor we hear, And that's what conviction by accusation means. It means no evidence or not even scrutiny of the evidence, and just deciding that someone is guilty. And I just happen to think that's particularly problematic when it comes to black men, given the history of black men in the justice system at this time. All right. I think we have a lot to talk about that I did not get to, and we always have tomorrow. We always have social media. I hope you'll tap in with me on social media. I am doing better with posting more often. You can find us at KBLA 1580 on every single platform. You can find me at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. My favorite one is Instagram, even though Mark Zuckerberg is currently cozying up with the president-elect. I happen to love the IG platform just because it's easy to use. I'm on Blue Sky now, and I hope you'll find us there. And, of course, we're on YouTube at KBLA 1580. And I have my own channel, DiPrima Radio, DiPrima Radio. Please like, follow, subscribe, and comment. Would love to hear from you when we're on the air and when we're not. Tomorrow, of course, is Freedman Friday, and we will continue our series where we take a deep dive on issues around reparations in a quest to foster more and more success. As we see now, St. Louis has taken up a reparations commission, the city of Sacramento passing some important laws around reparations, and maybe reparations is the antidote to diversity, equity, and inclusion in a sense when it comes to black people. Maybe things like the Black Student Achievement Program, things like programs to bring more black folks at least in to compete evenly with others, which is all DEI does, can be brought back into effectiveness through reparations, right? Reparations. Okay. Tavis Smiley's up next. He's got a full lineup for you as usual. And I will see you around. If you're on the west side, maybe I'll see you at the swearing in for Heather Hutt. Maybe I'll see you at the party for Ultimate Student Athlete. Maybe I'll see you at the Nickerson Gardens Christmas party. All of that is going on. So it's a wild Christmas season around here. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Imagine a photograph of your favorite place in California. Then right in the middle of it, one piece of litter. Litter has no place in our lives, not one piece. Together, let's change that. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know from BIN News. The black man who did a